Since 1956, four generations of the Frank family have made wines that have consistently ranked in the top 100 wines in the world. Today, we are interviewing the president of Dr. Frank's Winery, Fred Frank, to learn more about this pioneering Finger Lakes winery. Was there ever any pressure, or did you feel that this was your destiny, or did at some point you say, hey, I'm not sure if I want to take this over and be responsible for it all?
That's a very good question, and it was kind of a way of life. So even growing up as a youngster, I would work with my grandfather Konstantin in the vineyards and in the cellar, but he had a great way of connecting with his grandsons. There were three of us all together, and when he first planted the vineyards here, he made sure to develop 4 ponds as well, and then he stocked them with fish. So when we came up in the summers, it was fun and work, So that way he was able to bond with us, teaching us fishing and hunting. And then, oh, by the way, let's do some work in the vineyard and the cellar too. So it didn't really alienate us. We had fun in our summers and we learned as well.
What's been built here? Obviously, the first major winery in upstate New York, and just the fact that there's so much history that you've preserved and in passing down into the next generation. But what do you find is the biggest challenge now, being, you would say, the number one winery? How do you deal with that, and does that create pressure to continue innovating?
Well, we're blessed that my daughter Megan is continuing her great-grandfather's legacy. So I'm really having a great time of working with her. And just as I learned from my grandfather and father, I'm blessed to have that opportunity working with Megan. And, we all, my father insisted that I work for other wineries first before I came back and get an education in wine. Which I did in Germany at a wine school there. And so I followed the same approach with Megan, and she has 2 master's degrees in wine, one from Cornell, one in Australia, Adelaide, and also worked at an Australian winery before she came. So she really, hit the ground running, so to speak, and has great ideas to move the winery into the next level. So we're really excited to have her on board.
What's your favorite part of being a proprietor of a major winery?
Well, I think that my most favorite part is that we're building something for the next generation. And if you look at some of the most famous wineries in Europe, some of them have been in the same family for 1,000 years.
The building that we're standing in now was originally a winery in 1886.
Yes, back in 1886, you see these hand-laid stone walls that give us terrific insulation, nice cool environment for the long-term aging of these sparkling wines. But this facility was built in 1886. It was called the Western New York Wine Company. It went out of business during Prohibition, and my father purchased it in the late 70s and continued the restoration. And his dream was to make the best sparkling wines in the United States.
This experience we've had here with you today has been fantastic. Thank you very much.
Thank you. Thanks.